Yo, 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 what's going on, faithfuls? The Nothing But Niners crew is here, man. We're not going to go through all the formalities because this is a limited time show. We are here at halftime, man. There's a lot to discuss. So, my man, Nick, let's just go ahead and kick this thing off, man. Faithful, you guys already know the deal. If you haven't been here before, listen, one-stop shop is going to let you know everything you need to do. That's www.nothingbutniners.com. Nick, halftime is here, man. There's a lot going on, man. What are your thoughts on this game so far? It started ugly. It started really ugly, but the Niners have slowly started to turn it around. What do you think, man?
Look, man, I think we came out a little bit flat after that game Monday night. Also, in my opinion, the defensive pass interference calls, one of them was a good call. One of them wasn't. I think that put us with our back against the wall. Obviously, for them to score, to go out, 9-0. Obviously, the next drive that they scored on, we just looked a little bit slow, like sluggish. Whether it was us just, being gassed, or was it the way that we just didn't – we literally – our defense came alive again once the offense scored. But right now, man, I mean, like I said, this whole game, I can never count this team out. Unless it's like 34-0, you cannot count this team out. 9-0, 16-0. We go down, we score in a minute and whatever it was, 52 seconds or whatever it was, and we're right back in the game. Now, obviously, we played it a little safe there at the end of the first half, opted for the 3 points. We've been playing aggressive offensively.
Let's talk about that. That's the most recent thing on everybody's mind, right? You heard the crowd booing that the Niners didn't try to go for it again and all that. There was about 25-something seconds left when we got to the third down point, and we had one more timeout remaining. They did not go for it there, and there were boos coming from the crowd. Some people feel like that's justified. What are your thoughts on that? How do you feel about it? Because I have a very distinct thought on it. So,
look, I mean, the momentum's already swinged in your way, right? Your defense has stopped them the last drive and a half or two drives. Your offense has moved the football down the field. You're getting catching their defense off guard with encroachment calls. You had 3 straight encroachment calls on the defense. Obviously, they're starting to try to jump things. Kyle Shanahan's really digging into the playbook now. And then you're playing that safe, but that's showing that you have faith in your defense, and we get the ball back at the half. So take the for sure points. Take the for sure points at 3. Make it 16-10. And you go into this game as a whole new game. You're down by 6 points. A touchdown takes the lead again, and you get the ball back. So, I mean, why not? Just go for the points.
Yeah. So, I did want to see them go for it because there was enough time to try another play, and if it didn't work, as long as it wasn't a turnover, you can kick the field goal, right? But when I stopped and thought about it, like you said, the key was we get the ball back coming out of the half. You take this. And if things go well, Shanahan's in their heads already. You talked about the false starts and everything. Momentum shifted like a mug as soon as Richie James touched that ball. As soon as Richie James got his hand on that ball, the entire when they showed the aerial view of that play and how the entire Cardinals defense went to the top of the screen and all the Niners offense went to the bottom. I don't know what they saw to cause them to do that. They weren't even reading players. I don't know what caused that.
The whole first half, they've been driving to one side of the field, their defense. And then Kyle Shanahan finally opened it up and got some rollouts that we haven't seen in a while. This was a go-to play last year with Kittle or with Juice, and we haven't really seen it that much this year.
I said it in the beginning of the game on our preview show, the second preview show that we just did. I said we're going to see Kyle Shanahan playing chess today. I said he's going to set things up. It's going to take the first 2 or 3 drives. And I said specifically, don't expect anything outrageous on the first couple of drives because he's setting things up. I said don't even expect a whole lot in the first half. And then you see it right there at the end. Right there at the end. These last 2 drives were methodical. You can see that Jimmy Garoppolo was in the head of the opponents. We got the momentum. Let's take the momentum and points into the locker room. Don't set your team back by giving them an opportunity to make a turnover.
And the other thing with this first half is you look at how many yards they've had, and you look at how many yards the Niners had, right? But I bet you 50 of those yards, maybe 60, are off penalties.
Well, not only that. So, all right, I have the numbers here, right? The 49ers have been penalized 4 times already. I don't have penalty yards, but I know that Richard Sherman got 2 of them for at least. Oh, that's right. That's right. Sherman did get a third one at the end of it. But I know that those three equal almost 75 yards because one of them was like 30 something, right? The other one was 40. So Sherman has been giving them a lot of grounds for that squad. But if you step back and you look at everything, right? That 167 yards that they started with before we scored is what they ended the half with.
Yep.
Okay, where we had 2 and they had 165 yards.
Yep.
We now have 124 yards.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The switch was flicked
in
and that
4
momentum is
minutes.
coming.
In 4 minutes
Yeah,
of that
Yep.
game.
and that
So,
momentum is coming, bro.
You know, and Mike, to go back to what you were saying about the third down is like I said, is you're getting the ball back at the half and you already have the momentum. So don't switch the momentum up because you went for it on a 4th down, right? And you gave them momentum back. You go for it here, you miss it, and you don't get any points. The momentum's going to be on the defensive side of the ball coming out onto this half.
Well, no, that was 3rd down. We still could have kicked an extra point if we tried to get the first and didn't get it. He decided to be conservative and run it up the middle on 3rd down, and that's why the crowd was booing. And he waited till it ran down to 6 or 7 seconds or whatever. Then he called the timeout. So Wayne, man, I want to get your thoughts on something because we saw something about Jimmy Garoppolo and the drops, right? We can finally stop saying that number 17 Sanders doesn't drop anything, right? We saw the drop. Now they didn't. It's not going to be a statistic drop. We saw that Patrick Peterson made contact with the player and the ball. It's not statistically going to be a drop, but we can stop with that. He doesn't drop anything now. What were your thoughts from the wide receivers? That was a big key for us going into this game. What are your thoughts on the wide receivers and how they're performing so far?
I mean, the 2 passes he had to Bourne, those were a little high. I just don't think Bourne could catch high passes. I don't think he has that. I'm going to go up and catch it at the radius, the high point and come down with it. He's not that big physical receiver. I can't really blame him on those. The Mostert drop, though, that was game mother freaking changer. Like that was a huge wheel route on a huge 3rd down. And those are the plays that I'm talking about. It's like, you want us to be in this game. We put so much pressure on Jimmy G. Kyle's drawing up the right plays, and then a player just doesn't follow the play through. That Mostert play was huge. And I believe if Breida was in there, that was a catch because that's one thing Breida does and goes and he makes sure he gets the ball. Let's see who else. The Sanders joint was definitely probably a pass breakup. Who else had the Richie James, the screen pass? I don't understand why we don't do more screen passing. I'm sorry.
Nick was saying that. Nick was just saying that.
And,
we did it a lot last year and now nothing this year.
It's like, we were trying last year and we couldn't complete a screen pass at all. And this year we won't even try. I think Kyle, you're going to see everybody kept saying, oh, Kyle got to do this, Kyle got to do that. It's hard to adjust during the half.
All right. So really quick, I know you kept saying Mostert drop but the one to Coleman, that was a touchdown.
That was on Jimmy, though.
That was on Jimmy. That was Jimmy's fault. And I was like, why didn't he just
put some air under it, right?
Just touch it. Just touch
He kind of threw
a dart.
Yeah. I was gonna take it back and said he kind of threw a Kaepernick pass, like just a quick, dart. It wasn't, there was no touch on it, there was nothing on it. And I definitely put that on Jimmy,
And then we had the touchdown called back. So that means, listen, what we're seeing right now are all the things that happened when Niners were winning games. When we went on an 8-0 run, there were touchdown passes called back, the false starts. I mean, the offsides and encroachment on the defense and all that stuff. We see the Ross Dwelly trying to show some life, man. That Ross Dwelly play had me hyped over here. The second one, because I love the way he dived and fully extended his. That man was completely parallel with the ground, man. I loved it. So, Nick, I want to ask you something about the defense. Any thoughts on the defense at all, man? What are you seeing? How do you think they've adjusted since the first 2 drives for the Cardinals? And do you think it's a big deal? Let me give you this, right? Let me set you up. A lot of people are saying we can't stop this defense. We can't stop this offense. They've scored. They're scoring. They're moving down the field at will. I want to get your thoughts because you were the only person saying stuff that I thought I agreed with.
Really?
Look, man, even in our room, man, it's like you cannot count this defense out. Like, yes, they're gassed, right? Our offense came out. We had 2 3-and-out series. They're right back on the field. Then Kyle Shanahan this is kind of where the defense started to turn a little bit. Kyle Shanahan makes that challenge play call. to give the defense a little bit of a breather more, knowing he's probably not going to win it. You got 8 minutes left in the second half or in the first half. But defensively, man, I just think we're over pursuing right now.
Mhm.
Like, I think we went from flat to overhyped to even killed. And that's how I feel right now with this defense. I think that we can stop these guys. And yes,
Kickoff, guys.
I was saying this just real quick. I was saying this in the room or whatever.
Ricky James.
If you can't trust this defense, right? And you can't trust this offense, and we're counting this team out down 16-0, then you might as well just stop cheering, man. Like, it's just, you got to watch the whole game, man. Kyle Shanahan and this team has even been a better team in the second half than they have been in the first half. I've said it all year, Mike. It takes Jimmy Garoppolo in this offense 3 series to get going. I've been saying it since week 2, week 1. You're on mute.
I know the half is on now, and I want to say this really quick. People were concerned about the see, I'm so far behind on my stream. They're just kicking off now. People were so concerned about how bad our defense was doing, right? Bad. You take away those penalties, those Richard Sherman pass interferences. Let's go, Richie. The
They're
boys,
3 outs.
the defense was putting them 3 and outs, man. It was done. They had a fork in those guys. So I'm not panicking. We will get the penalties under control. We already have 4. We have hit our quota for the day. Have Jimmy Garoppolo been sacked yet?
Once.
Yeah, once.
Once. The dude came up. It was like a delayed blitz from the middle linebacker, and he came up and got him.
Yeah.
So it wasn't on McGlinchey, though, right?
No, it was
Nah,
up the middle.
They just rushed the extra. Here we go, Coleman. Sorry.
All right, we're going to get up out of here, y'all. All right, man. This is a fun halftime show. We'll see you guys for the overreaction show, fellas. Y'all be safe over there, all right?
Remain faithful.
Always, man.
Thanks.
Bang, bang, Niner gang.